caller that called in, Bodie, that referred to Brian Kelly as a gummy bear scrotum face man.
That's pretty good.
That's interesting.
The guy won some sort of prize because he goes, I've never heard that before.
Rack him.
He goes, I give him, whatever he was saying. Yeah. He's like, I've never heard that. The creativity, I'll probably never hear it again.
That's pretty good. I mean, I wonder how, it's like, how much time do you waste trying to come up with that creative? I can't believe it just pops into your head.
I don't know. I've heard a lot of things through the years, like regionally from different coaches that you would never hear in this region.
Yeah.
And so that may be the case, like with some of this stuff that they're very regionalized. And maybe this guy had some creative coaches or like military instructors throughout his day that would be very loose with their language.
Yep.
And maybe they help create it.
We're going to have Austin Ward on today. We got some Ohio State sound play from the
Ward
coaches.
Sports.
Ward Sports is going to join us at 7:20. Also, the Reds yesterday, they fell to the Cardinals 3-0. Their wild card hopes are fading fast. Guardians over the Tigers 7-5. And then today, the Reds are at 1:15. They wrap up the series in the Lou against the Cardinals.
More faded than JR at the victory tour?
Yes, I think it might be, yes. And then also today in Detroit, Guardians and Tigers play at 6:40. All right, Bob. This is a big moment. This is a seminal moment for me.
Hold on, I want to tell you
yes,
I want to let you know this.
Yeah.
High importance email.
Yes.
Coming from the great Colin Behringer, grandson of Tom Behringer. Maybe.
You can't. Yeah. We have a DNA test.
Be very careful when using Zeta 2Go. You can potentially accidentally fire brakes using the platform. My suggestion is to change your Z2G layout to remove the on-air tab and play in place for something like the hotkeys tab, not the hot Carl.
So I've got hotkeys.
That's a different hot altogether.
I don't know what a hot Carl is.
Well, if you don't know, you can't afford it.
Okay, that's probably fair. But I've got on-air over here also still, Bo, but I'm okay, right? It says hotkeys and it says on-air. Are you concerned about that?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I'll tell you, let's just hit a button and see if it works. Look at this. Make sure it says Bobby's not
smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
Bobby, I'm 1 for 1 today, man. It's a win.
Best part of going 1 for 1 is chance to go 2 for 2.
There you go.
It is Wednesday, September 17th, the 260th day of the year. A $1.05 remaining in this 2025. This date in 1787, the U.S. Constitution is signed at Independence Hall in Philadelphia, bringing an end to the Constitutional Convention.
Don't touch that bell.
What do you think Independence Hall was called before the Declaration of Independence was written there?
The Louisville Cardinals played games. I think it was called Freedom Hall.
That was going to be my guess, too.
Freedom Hall?
Yeah.
The Hall of Justice?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. You know the answer to it. Well, then yes, Freedom Hall's the answer.
It's kind of a rhetorical question because obviously it wasn't called Independence Hall probably before.
Couldn't be before that. Was it Codependence Hall?
I don't know.
Dependence Hall?
King's Hall? I don't know.
That too. Yeah, right. Yeah. George's Place?
George's Place. There you go. This date, 1862, the Battle of Antietam. Antietam. Not Antietam. Antietam. Do you know what that is? The significance of the Battle of Antietam.
I believe it's when her and my Uncle Steve got into a fight.
Yes. It is Union forces defeat General Lee and the Confederacy at that point. Bloodiest day in American history, 22,000 dead or wounded.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a big number.
You got to think you're getting both sides.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Every loss is a loss for the country.
So, deadliest day, bloodiest day in U.S. history. This date, 1920, the NFL is organized as the American Pro Football Association. The APFA doesn't sound quite as good as the NFL, Bodie.
Doesn't roll off the tongue. No.
Yeah, what are you going to do today? I'm going to watch some APFA.
Yeah.
Not quite exactly like the NFL. And where was it organized? Do you know, Bodes?
Oh, come on, Bo. Do you know your history?
Dallas.
Canton, Ohio.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
you know what?
hey, listen, kid in the back.
He got one guess at it. You know how many bites of the apple do you get?
Dallas
he said
wasn't my real guess.
Of course. It was 1920. Dallas wasn't a guess. The Cowboys didn't come in existence until...
how many guesses you give him here?
67?
60.
60.
60.
I know my history. You guys might know your presidents. I know some history. I got smarts real good.
Well, he fired Tom Landry after 29 years as the coach in '89. So there you go, Bodes.
Right on.
Only coach they'd had until that point. This date in 1953, some big sports news. Ernie Banks becoming the first black player to play for the Chicago Cubs. This date 1959, Jack Nicklaus, who 2 years later wins the 61st U.S. Amateur, at this point won the 59th earlier in his career. And then on this date, 1961, Fran Tarkenton plays his first NFL game. Throws 4 touchdowns, the first NFL quarterback to throw 4 TDs in their first game. 1964, Mickey Mantle hits his 450th home run. And then in 1983, Vanessa Williams becomes the first black Miss America.
6 of the brightest and loveliest young women in America are standing on our stage. One of them will be the new Miss America and the winner of a $25,000 scholarship. And our new Miss America is Vanessa Williams, Miss New York.
She stripped and was later stripped of that.
That's okay, though. You can never take it away.
There's some pretty good pictures of her, though.
Well, that's key.
There's
honor in the dollar.
There was definitely a lot of honors there.
Well, there you go. This date, 1984, Missing You by John Waite hits number 1.
Down this long distance line tonight, I ain't missing you at all. Missing you. Since you've been gone, missing away, I ain't missing you.
Banger.
That's a pretty good one. I had no idea who John Waite was, and I was
Really?
curious if I would recognize that song. Absolutely, I did.
He was also the lead singer in Damn Yankees, I believe. That came out with the they were hot for a minute with like Neil Sean from Journey, Jack Blade from Night Ranger, I think was in that band also.
Night Ranger.
They were all part of one of the super groups, I guess you would call it.
Super
That's what
groups.
they were. They were super
They're like the Avengers of the band.
That's
really
what they were,
was.
yes. That's what it was.
Kind of like the Eagles.
The Eagles were a super group, yeah, I would say, yeah.
The Eagles were like the first boy band construction, essentially. But they took a bunch of guys, Bodie, who were like very talented, all like lead singers in their own right, and did things and put them all together.
Nice.
That's
I
why
didn't
they
know
had
that.
some problems. It wasn't an organic construction, you know?
Some conflict.
Yeah, that was good,
Just
though.
like One Direction.
They were kind of the monkeys of rock music. Go
The
ahead.
monkeys of rock music. This day, 1984, Reggie Jackson becomes the 13th player in Major League Baseball history to hit 500 home runs.
Welcome back to Anaheim Stadium. Phil Stone,
Oh.
Dwayne Mosley, 7-0. Kansas City is. They make a bid to take over sole possession of first place and break out of this log jam. Set to lead it off for the Angels here in the home half at number 7 is Reggie. Thus far tonight, Jackson is 0 for 1. He walked in the 4th with 2 out and went no farther. There it goes. Home run number 500.
There it is. Number 500 for Mr. October. What was his candy bar name, Mr. October?
It was called Reggie. It was the Reggie bar.
The Reggie.
He told people if I come to New York, they'll name a candy bar after me, and they did.
There you go. This day, 2000. Dan the Man Marino. Film star, all-star quarterback, Pittsburgh alum. The Dolphins retired his jersey, number 13. 25 years
Incredible
old.
evening for me to be inducted into the Dolphin Honor Roll here in the end zone and to be on the wall with so many other great Dolphins in the tradition. Great players like Bob Greasy, Coach Shula, the 72 undefeated team, Matt Moore, Nick Bonacani, Dwight Stevenson. It's a special honor for me. Thank you. And to know that the statue that was unveiled tonight will be out in front of the stadium where all you Dolphin fans can see, it's special for me and my family. But most of all, being able to spend 17 years in Miami and fulfill a dream and play in all my years here in front of the Dolphin fans is special to me. I thank you all. You're the greatest fans in the world. I love you, Dolphin fans. Thank you.
Called them cans early on. He called them Dolphin cans.
There you go.
Did you ever see the exchange with him and Boomer Esiason when they were on like NFL Today in a pregame thing? And Boomer was talking about quarterbacks that haven't been able to win the big one, that have been really good, haven't been able to win the Super Bowl. And Marino got so pissed
Does
at him.
Boomer put himself in that category?
I don't care. I can't remember exactly. I just remember Dan looked at him like, "Are you seriously saying that right in front of me?" Like Dan was so upset about that. You could see in the moment. He's like, "What?"
If you ever talk to Bo about this,
Yeah.
he would say that they would, during Michigan week, he would have, back when Earl Bruce was still alive, they'd have Bruce and sometimes Cooper on, do a round table, talk about things. And Earl would start laying into this, if you can't beat Michigan, you're nothing. And just, he's like, not even like looking at Coop, just in general.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was saying, and Bo's like, I don't think he even realized what he was saying in the presence of the people that he
wow.
were around. It was remarkable. So it kind of has a little feel like that, but
Yeah.
I don't know if it was intentional or if it was just an oversight. Sounds kind of personal to me.
I think that Boomer wasn't putting himself in the category. He was talking about like guys that are elite quarterbacks, because Marino was obviously one of the best ever,
Probably the best.
but couldn't.
Nobody's done
never
it better.
won the Super Bowl. Only made it to one.
Ray Finkel, not a fan. Oh, goodness. He only made it to one his second season, never made it
Yeah.
back.
Yep.
Die, Dan, die. Laces out.
Oh,
On this day, 2001, the stock exchange opens after a 7-day or 6-day hiatus from the 9/11 attacks. 2004, big home run day. Barry Bonds hits his 700th home run.
Shift is on for Bonds. Bonds hits one to left center field. He hits it well. Klesko back. It is out of here. Number 700 for Barry Bonds. Aaron, Ruth, and now Bonds, the 700 home run club. As Bonds steps on home plate, and listen to this crowd.
it was
Yeah,
criminal what they did to
You know how you hit it out of the shift, Tito.
That's right.
Hit it right out of the park.
Shift doesn't matter if it's not in the field.
Exactly.
They used to do the craziest shifts on. I mean, he was the first guy they did those super shifts with, where you would literally have the shortstop like on top of second base, and the second baseman like standing beside the third baseman. First baseman's like in between first and second.
They used to do that for Ted Williams, but they didn't do it often because Ted Williams was smart enough to just hit it to the right
Absolutely,
then and
yeah.
hit it to the left field. I'm sorry, hit it the other way, and where no one's at, and find that gap and go get the base hit. He wasn't always trying to hit home runs then, but yeah, they did it a few times with guys. But Bonds,
Barry's a lefty, so it'd be the shifted the other way.
other way
where,
around, second baseman.
Yeah, say the shortstop would be
Yeah.
like sitting on top of second base,
yeah. So
and the third baseman would be like in between the first, and second, and third line. Yeah, I was thinking how I would hit the ball. I'm like, Barry was a lefty.
I can tell I would not hit the ball.
Yeah, not as good
Not
as
like
Barry.
Barry.
Not like Barry. And then this date, 2013,
Yes.
Grand Theft Auto 5 grosses $500 million on its first day of release.
This week, Grand Theft Auto 5 pulled in $1 billion in sales in 3 days. No movie or music release has ever come close to that. As with earlier versions of the game, it is extremely violent. Here's Elaine Quijano.
Grand Theft Auto 5 allows video game players to assume the role of gangsters, committing almost any crime imaginable. Bank robberies, car thefts, often murder. College freshman Daniel Bell started playing 4 years ago.
You're never gonna really be a criminal. So like when you're all these characters who are just insane criminals who rob banks and steal cars, it's just like a fun experience and it gives you a rush.
Gives you a rush.
I never let my kids play those games. They would sometimes play at their friend's house. So I would never have it in my
You
house.
address this.
I know. It's okay to
He was
readdress
afraid
it.
that his kids were
I
going
was here. I
to become
remember.
school
Yeah.
shooters.
Look at me, Tito. You know how much Grand Theft Auto I've played in my life?
How much?
Exactly. And Bodie seems,
Lots.
A lot.
Bodie seems very well adjusted.
Bodie damn near took a bat to a woman at Notre Dame game. Let's
He was
just
far more patient than I would have.
Nobody in the game tells you to sit down. They might tell you other
If they
stuff.
do, they say it once. They don't tell Bodie again.
There he is.
Next one comes out next spring.
Does it really?
Oh, yeah.
Is that what number is that?
6.
6?
Yeah.
So they haven't made a new one since
Yes,
5?
correct.
Oh my gosh.
Rockstar. I think it's Rockstar. Rocksteady or Rockstar, one of the two. Whoever makes the game. They take their time in between.
Well, yeah, so they can
making
bleed
their
you out
games,
for as
but-
much money in between.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this one will probably do $1 billion in the first.
Oh,
day.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, they've got. We used to watch.
I wonder.
I used to play Grand Theft Auto all the time. We'd beat up the hookers. You'd steal money from me. It's just
Well, that's just
good, wholesome living.
I'd be interested to know.
When Vice City came out, that was a game changer.
Yeah.
That was the third one, I think.
They came out with Red Dead Redemption 2 probably, gosh, it's probably been 5-6 years by now. I don't know how much money that one made, but I bet it was quite a bit.
I played Larry the Lounge Lizard. Was the game I played on the
Larry
PC.
the Lounge Lizard.
Your whole goal was
What about being a lot lizard?
the whole
about
goal
those?
was to hook up with a woman, and you would go around.
But you can do that in Grand Theft Auto.
Well, I'm saying that's like this is
both willingly and unwillingly.
This is a mid '80s PC game where you go around and you enter bar. You type in enter bar.
The
then
lot lizard.
then
Jeff
you would
Thitoff, starring
approach
Jeff Thitoff.
woman. What do you want to say? Can I buy you a drink? And then sometimes it works. Sometimes
And
it
you have an
wouldn't.
option. If you have sleight of hand, you can slide something in the drink.
I don't think that was part of the Larry.
I don't know.
Not the version of Larry Lounge.
That might be part of the new Grand Theft Auto.
She says no, pistol whip.
Exactly.
Hey, listen, we're not encouraging that, folks.
It happens in the game.
This is all
It's real
factual
life.
elements of the real game.
You're right. I got you. I got you. Okay.
I remember when I watched, I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. My friend showed me, he's like, dude, we can go in here and beat up these hookers. I'm like, this is unbelievable.
And then he said, "Video game? What are you talking? No, like, man, we got hookers back there. Let's
It
go.
was
Let's have some
unreal.
fun."
It was unreal. My mom would have never, we never had it. We never had a PlayStation growing up, or I didn't get an Xbox until I was in college. At that point, I was a little old for it, but yeah, I'd go to my buddies to
never
play.
too old.
We'd sit there. Well, maybe I might get, I used to play Vice City a lot in college. Maybe I'll get, should I get that for my kids for next year, you think?
Next spring. Do you have, are any of them any spring birthdays?
Yeah, Cullen. He'll be a 13 or in
that's
seventh
plenty
grade.
old enough.
Seventh
Yeah.
grade
No,
next
no,
year.
no, don't you dare. Don't you dare corrupt my
May
favorite
20th?
Carpenter. Don't do it.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it comes out in May.
No.
That sounds perfect.
I'm talking
I
to
like
Courtney.
it.
We can't have this.
Oh, he would love this.
I'm sure he would, but we're not going to corrupt him
All
like
his
that.
friends
Bob.
come over, play.
No.
I'll get him some Bartles and James. They can sit there and have some bevs and watch this.
Hey, Cullen, how'd you do today? I killed 14 hookers.
Yeah.
That would totally corrupt him. No, Bob, don't
I'll get a
do
big
it.
dry erase board on
Yes.
the.
Oh, it's not just the women. It's, cops.
kill anybody,
civilians.
Kyle.
Oh, that's much better. I'm sorry. How
You
many
just run
cops did you
them
kill?
over.
You're right,
You
yes.
just run- well, when you run people over, you're not sure if they're actually dead.
So you back up and do it again?
You got to make sure you get them a couple times.
If the
Bobby,
cop's chasing you can't stop and put it in reverse, though. You got to just keep going.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a calendar reminder to make sure I talk to Cullen.
Some holidays observances today, or birthdays rather. Billy the Kid, the famed outlaw, born in this state 1859. Hank Williams of country music fame, born in 1923. Cut down too early, only 30 years later. George Blanda, 26-year NFL vet, quarterback and kicker, born in this state 1927. And turning 80 years old today, 11-time NBA champion. Some refer to him as the Zen Master, Phil Jackson.
Well, I think the moment that means a lot to me was the last game that we were on the floor together against Utah. He was missing his shot and he was letting his hand go a little bit, and I just said, you gotta follow through on the shot. And then I said, listen, we've got 30-some seconds, 9 seconds. There's a timeout. They're not going to call a timeout. We're down by 3. When you score, when they come back, they're going to go to Carl. Come back and strip him. You can come back and strip him in this situation. You know the play. You know what they're going to do. They're going to cross pick, and Hornacek's going to set it and see if you can't get the ball out of his hands. And he did it. And it was a great steal. And he went down, scored on the same play. But this time he took a jump shot.
He's overrated. Phil Jackson, I'm serious. That's
All right. I mean, he won 11
I'll
NBA
take
championships.
win without Jordan, win without Kobe. Do that for me. Go to the Knicks and screw up that franchise as a GM and president if you want
Well, but there's some great shots of him riding on the subway, though, which
Yeah.
was pretty elite. Baz Luhrmann, the writer, director, and producer, turning 63 today. Kyle Chandler, turning 60 as well, the head coach from Friday Night Lights.
Gentlemen, there's been a lot of talk about expectation lately. Expectation of what we should be able to do to win. People are expecting. People are expecting quite a bit. I see us winning out there tonight. I have no trouble seeing that. That is not what I'm expecting. I expect you boys to go out there and not take this team lightly, because I promise you, they're going to come at you with everything they've got. I expect you boys to execute.
Yes, sir.
Expect you boys to play football.
Yes, sir.
Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose.
Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose. Turning 51 today, North Carolina.
That ball don't lie.
Player. Ball don't lie. And neither does Rasheed Wallace, turning 51.
I ain't never tell nobody this. I don't even think I told you this. When I was out there in Portland, they asked me to do a Don't Do Drugs commercial. Right? And you know, with me being the face of that Blazer team at the time, I was like, let me get back to you on that one, right? So the next day in practice, you know, the PR person came again. She's like, hey, so what do you think about, the PSA that Don't Do Drugs? I was like, I'm not going to do that. And she was like, why? I said, being as though I smoke marijuana, I said, that'll be very hypocritical of me to go up here and do a national PSA telling your kids, don't do drugs, don't smoke, and da-da-da-da-da-da. I said, I can't do that.
Both teams play hard, my man.
Rasheed, do you think it was a good game? Do you think both teams played hard?
Both teams play hard. Both teams play hard. Both teams play hard. God bless and good night.
Both teams played hard, my man. Both teams played hard. He was the best. I love Rasheed Wallace. The drug commercial thing is pretty entertaining.
When they couldn't get Wallace, they went to Charlie Sheen and said, hey, do you mind doing one of these?
I went to Damon Stoudemire instead.
Yes.
He's a head coach of something somewhere.
He is, like a Virginia. Georgia Tech.
Tech. JL Blazers. And turning 30 today, Mr. Patrick Mahomes.
McKinnon is in at running back. First down and goal to go. Play action fake. Right side throw. Touchdown! Kansas City! McCole Hardman with the catch on the right side. A 3-yard touchdown pass in overtime. Kansas City wins the game. 25-22. And the Chiefs Kingdom has started its own history class. Because for the first time in 6,944 days, there is a back-to-back Super Bowl champion, and it is the Kansas City Chiefs.
Good for him, getting the day countdown before the game, knowing that was a possibility.
Yes.
Yeah. Well done. Some holidays observances. It is Citizenship Day. It is International Country Music Day. National Monte Cristo Day. You a Monte Cristo fan?
I like the French toast.
Okay.
Or the sandwich. Which one is it? There's Monte Cristo sandwich.
Yeah, the sandwich. That's what I was talking about.
I know with French toast. I thought Monte Cristo was like a person.
Well, that's the Count of Monte Cristo.
That's what I'm saying. That's what
Frederick Dumas.
I didn't know if I was a fan of the guy or the food.
Frederick Dumas.
Okay.
We've talked about, Beam and I talked about this. Have you seen the Count of Monte Cristo yet, buddy?
I have not.
Oh, I introduced it to Beam and he loved it.
Okay.
Have you ever seen Shawshank Redemption?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So when they're sitting there in the building out the library, he's like, Frederick Dumas. And he's like, no, it's Dumas.
Dumas.
He's like, it's actually a book that you would like. It's about a prison break. He said, where's it go? He was in the fiction section. He goes, maybe it should be in research. It's pretty good. But there's a movie. They made a new one, but the one that's from like the late 90s, early 2000s is really good. Right. I like it. Put that in the catalog to watch.
Was it Antonio Banderas, something like that? Who was the count?
It's not. Luis Guzman's in it, but there's not a whole lot of like famous actors and actresses that you would know. It is National Table Shuffleboard Day. as well. And those are your historical events, your birthdays, your passings, your holidays, observances for this date, March 17th, the 260th day of the year, and 105 days remaining in this 2025.
All right, well done as always, General. Coming up next, a championship-winning coach needs to shut up. Someone's way too sensitive. We'll do that next. Morning Juice.
When it comes to protecting your business, whether it's your staff, property, or assets, don't make a crucial mistake by contracting companies that provide subpar and unprofessional service. What you need is a security partner known for their unwavering professionalism and unmatched reliability. You need Event Risk. Event Risk is a U.S.-based, better-known company that not only specializes in on-site guarding, but also offers armed security associates and executive protection agents. Event Risk, elite protection for your peace of mind.
Hello, my name is Eric Rose, CEO and founder of Event Risk Security Services. We are a U.S.-based, veteran-owned company providing protection services and consulting to Fortune 500 corporations, movie studios, celebrities, and high-net-worth individuals. If you're tired of fluff margins with low compensation for poor quality security officers and an endless revolving door of vendor staffing, then give us a try. For virtually the same cost, we can then address what keeps you up at night.
Visit eventriskinc.com.
Once there was a man who couldn't stand.
A mom who couldn't wait.
A scientific community that said it couldn't be done.
And then you.
And then I.
And then we.
Brought neuromuscular disease into screaming color with the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
For 75 years, our voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
We've willed the impossible into existence.
We've pushed the science,
raised the funds,
shifted the narrative,
and transformed the reality of life with neuromuscular diseases.
For 75 years, we've built communities together.
Established the field of neuromuscular medicine,
and made it thrive.
Call that a legacy.
Call it impact.
Call it momentum.
Just call it ours.
Because it's the generations of community heroes that give MDA the strength we have today.
And until neuromuscular disease is a thing of the past, you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
Your child is sick. With those 4 words, the innocence and joy of childhood disappears. But Starlight has taught us 4 other words that make all the difference. The power of play. Happy kids heal faster. That's why Starlight Children's Foundation delivers happiness through gaming, toy deliveries, and more to hospitals across the country. Learn more at starlight.org.
Your child's oral health milestones matter. By age 1, see a pediatric dentist to establish good oral health habits. At 7, see an orthodontist to check your child's bite, teeth, and jaws. Around 15, visit an oral and maxillofacial surgeon to have your child's wisdom teeth examined. Remember, milestones met, healthy teeth set. Visit milestonesmet.org.
One man is a national champion, NFL veteran, and local business leader. The other man is Tito. This is Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
All right, Morning Juice. Bobby Carpenter, who may have given us a poll question. I'm not sure. We got to workshop a little
Not
more.
really our speed, but
It's not
poll assassin.
It doesn't. It doesn't. I don't think it fits well with the brand, but who knows? Maybe it does. Maybe it fits better than the brand than we ever thought it did. Right, Bobby? And maybe I'm just a bitter mood today. I don't know why. I shouldn't be. But Dabo's an idiot. Play what Dabo said yesterday, please, Bodie.
If they want me gone, if they tired of winning, they can send me on their way because that's all we've done is win. So if they tired of winning, we've won this league 8 out of the last 10 years. Is that not good? I'm just asking. Is that good? I don't know if that's good or not. To win your league 8 out of 10 years, to go to the playoffs 7 out of 10 years, to be in 4 national championships, win it twice. Yeah, we're a little down right now. Take your shots, but I got a long memory, in case y'all don't know. We'll be all right. We'll bounce back. This is a program built to last. Always has been. Always will be. And I would just say, if you give up on us if you don't believe in us because we've lost 2 games down to the last straight and you didn't believe in us anyway, so it don't matter. You wasn't all in anyway. If you're all in, you burn the ships, man. There ain't no exit strategy. Like, you're freaking all in. And hey, listen, I mean, if Clemson's tired of winning, they send me on my way, but I'm gonna go somewhere else and coach. I ain't going to the beach. Hell, I'm 55. I got a long way to go. Y'all going to have to deal with me for a while. I got a long way to go. I'm just getting going. I'm just now good enough to be a head coach.
He's such
I'm just getting going. I'm just good enough now to be a head coach. It kind of sounded like we were going on like a Charlie Sheen rant there. You're so tired of the winning.
It sounded
winning.
Like, but Bob, like, every time I hear something like our coach, I picture in my mind, would Ryan Day have ever said something like that?
You wanted Ryan Day to wear a Ric Flair robe and walk around. That was your suggestion to him.
That's what he should have done, Bob. He missed a golden opportunity there. Maybe we'll get another chance this year. But Dad, 8 out of 10, is that good? I don't know. You tell me. Is that good? Shut up, Dad. We know exactly what you're saying. Like, I can never imagine Ryan Day at a press conference say, hey, no, I've lost 10 games or whatever, 8 years. Is that good? I don't know. Somebody tell me, is that good? I don't know. He would never do that.
That's not really his speed, though.
I know what I'm saying, but when I hear Dabo say it, though, Dabo is such an idiot.
Here's the thing. The reason why Dabo was able to do what he did at Clemson and to get rid of the Clemsoning and everything was because of that attitude that he has. And so, you know what? When you have a ton of confidence and you're a little bit edgy like that, that's always going to come through. Like that chip on your shoulder is never going away. It may shrink a little bit, but now it's back and in a big way.
But is it? I'm just saying that he's better. He's better than that. He doesn't. His record and what he's done at Clemson has been incredible.
Hey,
okay, it's been incredible. He does need to go out there and do things like that.
Hey, let the doer of the good deed remain silent. Let those that received it tell it. I get it. Everybody's watched it. They've seen how good he's been. Now, it doesn't. Two things can be true. The fact that Clemson, I think, while an ACC contender, hasn't been a real national championship contender in a while.
Ever since he decided, and now he is embracing the transport a little more now, but for the longest time he wouldn't do it. We were naming him like this a god.
Since 2020. I mean, that was since they lost to Ohio State.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of been it. They haven't had the quarterback play to the degree that they would like. They've had some highly recruited quarterbacks. Their offensive line hasn't probably been as good consistently. They used to have those mutant receivers. It seemed like every year they had a 6'4", 230-pound receiver that was a first-round NFL pick, and they used to have a dominant defensive line. And those things have not been to the degree that they were when they were rolling.
Yeah, and there were such high expectations for that team this year. And the fact what are they, 1-2 now? Is that what we're sitting on now? Is 1-2?
Yes.
Yep. 1-2 now. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you saw this or not.
At least they've won.
Listen, I'm not trying to rub salt. I saw this yesterday, though, that I think 87% of the money on the over-under wins for Notre Dame at 10.5 was on over. They now cannot hit the over.
Is that regular season only?
Regular season.
Yeah, it's
over
only
under
through 12.
10.5.
Well,
so we can still hit it.
No.
Just not for the bettors.
Right. Well, they can go 10-2, yeah. But the 87% of the people, though, who bet over 10.5
they could go 14
have lost.
Even.
Because it's all regular season. Yeah, you're right. They could. But I'm saying all those bettors have lost already, though. On the over-under.
Well, at least they're not going to string you out.
Right, yeah. You know what? Now you cash your tickets right now. Go do it right now. You don't wait for the end of the season. Yeah, right. I would have taken the over.
10.5?
Yeah, I would have gone. I think
I wouldn't have taken the over.
I probably would have.
I would have taken the under.
You would have taken under?
Yeah. Ironically, though, I would have taken it because I thought C.J. Carr was going to struggle out of the gate.
Right.
And then just, quarterback progression isn't linear. So even if he played well out of the gate, I figured he'd have a game or two where he just doesn't play well. I'd say he's 2 for 2 so far, and they're 0-2. So,
Bobby, this Tom Brady thing, where he was sitting in the Raiders booth with the next, like right by Chip Kelly with the headset on.
Speaking of Notre Dame, this Tom Brady thing.
No, I'm bouncing around a little bit, Bob. There's a lot to talk. We don't get a lot of segments here.
Schizophrenic cat over there.
No, we don't get a lot of segments. I'm curious. Do you think that Brady gets an unfair advantage, with Brady having the access he does?
No. I know you want me to say yes.
No, I don't say yes. I'm curious. No, I'm not going to upset.
I have to listen to all of these guys get out there and besmirch everything that's going on. I was listening to Marcus Spears and Chris Canty, two guys who I played with in Dallas, who I like them both, and they were on varying degrees of this with everything that was going on. Tom Brady owns the Raiders.
Right.
Tom Brady sits on the headset with the Raiders. He probably talks to Pete Carroll sometimes. I believe he was instrumental, as Albert Breer talked about on here, of getting Pete, getting Chip to come down there, them spending money and doing all of those things and creating this franchise. Him sitting up there in the booth listening to a headset. I don't care if he's talking to people there.
Right.
He's not allowed to watch their practices. He's allowed in production meetings. The coaches only have to tell him what they want to tell him.
And that's why I asked you, and I wasn't hoping you would say that it's an unfair advantage. I was asking you because I know you've been in production meetings.
Yeah.
And I didn't know.
They can ask questions all they want. There's some coaches, guys who I know, who I literally am like, you serious? I'm like, what do you think your lead calls are on defense? What's your bread and butter? We play it all. Oh, really? 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 What's your first install package on day one in training camp? Because that's kind of your lead stuff.
Okay.
All of it. Oh, yeah. They don't say that, but I'm
right.
like, and I'll follow up and like, well, this. I'm like, dude, I'm not going to talk to the other team and tell them who it is, especially if it's someone that I know. But outside of that, I have too much respect for the hard work that everybody puts in to prepare for this game for me to go over there and give someone an unfair advantage.
Right.
Like, that's ridiculous.
But
and so Tom talks to him. They don't have to give him anything.
Okay.
But you know why they probably do? He's Tom Brady. He's won 7 Super Bowls, and he has probably pretty good relationships with a lot of people in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Most people in the league like Tom. And they believe, like, hey, so by him talking about things in production meetings, first of all, most of the teams aren't playing the Raiders.
Right. True.
What do they play? 17 games, 11 are against, so 11 are non, 14 different teams every year. So over half of the league you're not playing.
I think that there's a Bears game coming up that he's doing.
Sure.
And then the Raiders play the Bears later on.
All right.
But is there any...
Hey, Caleb, what type of acrylic do you use to paint your fingernails?
Hey, Bobby.
Also, the downside for Tom is so significant. He can never do that, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not trying to go too far with this, but if he seriously was going out and taking what coaches told him and sending it to Vegas, couldn't the league probably step in and almost ban him? I know he's an owner.
Right. I don't know if the repercussions on that because
they just let him in the production meetings this year.
This year's the first year they're doing
and
it.
I think they probably talked to.
It's all virtually too. I'm just saying.
He's not allowed to be in the facilities. The irony is with that, like, he didn't have to be in the production meetings, but if they're playing someone that he knows pretty well, and he's on their call, just call the coach personally.
Yeah.
I don't need the production meeting. I'll just call him personally. He'll give me 20 minutes. That's all I need.
So, because of how important the television deals are for the NFL, obviously the billions they bring in, are there any kind of repercussions if they're not? I'm not saying to be completely transparent, and I know that it's a vague term to say this, but if they're not, if they're like Rasheed Wallace in that press conference, both teams, that's all they say. Is there any kind of thing the league would ever say to the organization? Hey, look, don't be,
Well, the thing is, if you're a coach,
and
especially like young coaches when they give them coordinators and stuff, sometimes they love to talk about what they're doing. Like, there's no repercussion for not giving them more, but the more color you can give them around, like, the coach was looking at this all week, or these little nuggets you see them throw out, they usually make the coach and the players look good.
Right.
So they're giving them like some of their best stuff and talking to them, and also being candid about things. But most of the stuff is in a positive light that they're throwing out there that's only going to enhance their own profiles. So they don't have to give them anything.
Right. They could be just like, I'm just here so I don't get fined. They could be like that and whatever, and just, both teams played hard the whole time. They could do that if they wanted to. I wonder about that, all right, coming up next. By the way, I don't know if you noticed or not, Bobby, I've turned over quick hitters to Bodie, which means we're probably going – he said good pretty quickly
Probably improving.
Okay, you didn't have to throw the jab in there, but I'm going to guess, though, that we'll have Bodie-type themes throughout some of these things. We'll probably get a lot of miracle, things like that. A lot of ways to throw it in there. We'll find out next. This is Morning Juice.
The most common form of treatment for the arthritic joints is normally cortisone injections and gel shots and over-the-counter medications. And most patients have tried all of that and are still in pain.
Every day, Dr. Aaron Wolkoff, a QC Kinetics medical director, meets patients who have exhausted every method to get relief. They've been told surgery is their only option.
They want to stay away from that path, and they come to us almost as a last hope. So we're using our own body's properties to help manage pain, to help slow arthritis down, keep the patients active with no downtime, and get them back to what they enjoy doing. I mean, I love what I do.
QC Kinetics regenerative treatments from our board-certified providers help heal and restore aching joints. No surgery, harmful drugs, or downtime. Call for your free consultation today.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
You know what hope is? Hope is action. Carving a path forward, even when it's hard.
And kids who still know how to dream. They're the best pathfinders of all.
So at Child Fund, hope means helping millions of children living in poverty worldwide to grow up healthy, educated, skilled, and so all those good things can come true for them, safe.
And that means safe at home, safe at school, and safe online.
Hope means walking this path together, all of us. Because when we work together, we can do so much more.
That's right. Hope includes you.
Child Fund, because we need each other.
To learn how Child Fund works with children in 23 countries to help them achieve their full potential, visit childfund.org. That's childfund.org.
Hey guys, 13-year NFL veteran and Super Bowl champion Jason McCourty here, and I'm an innovation ambassador at FAIR, Food Allergy and Research Education. I would say the most challenging thing as a parent of a kid who has a food allergy is probably the ignorance that I myself had in the beginning. I didn't know what anaphylactic shock was. I didn't know the dangers, let alone the things that she needed to be able to have a normal life. When you go to drop your kid off, and every single time in the beginning, we'd have to go through everything she was allergic to. Preparation is everything. And me, for playing football for 13 years, it was all throughout the course of the week. It's getting ready for game day. When you're on the field, you're playing for your fans. At home, you're playing for your family. My playbook, read labels, keep it allergy friendly, and have an epinephrine nasal spray as a backup plan. Because when my family's safe from food allergens, that's the real victory. Visit foodallergy.org to learn more.
Bobby is known as the General. Tito shops at Dollar General. This is Morning Juice.
Oh, boy, I tell you. That, Bob, we need to do a paywall thing for the in-between, for the breaks, the things we talk about.
As long as nobody can record off of it.
That's true. That's true, yes. But that, yeah. All right, let's just move on.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
Sponsored by Mark Levy, but brought to you by Bodie Wells.
Happy Wednesday, fellas. We'll start with college football here. One of the most highly discussed teams, and more specifically players of this offseason heading into the year, was Arch Manning, the quarterback of the Texas Longhorns. But just 3 games into this year, and Manning, he's been far from the preseason Heisman favorite and future top overall draft pick that many lauded him to be. In 3 games, he's completing just 55% of his passes. He's thrown 6 touchdowns, 3 picks. And the Longhorns offense in their last 2 games, after scoring just 7 here in week 1 in Columbus, they scored just 38 and 27 points in wins against San Jose State and UTEP. And Manning's struggles have been at the forefront of all of that for their offense, so much so that Danny can now compare him to Markelle Fultz and Ben Simmons. Bobby, do you think there's any chance
Markelle Fultz
Manning
and Ben Simmons
could have a little bit of the yips?
That's dirty by Danny.
That really is.
Danny does him dirty.
QB on QB crime.
That's
overrated QB on overrated QB crime is what it really was.
I don't think Danny Cannell was ever overrated. Whoever told you that he was really good?
Wasn't he? Didn't he in college? I thought he had a decent run. No, am I wrong on that one? Am I misremembering that?
He was a good starter for Florida State.
That's
I don't
right.
know if anybody rated him highly enough for him to be overrated, though.
Yeah, that's my point. Like, I think he was just kind of a rated guy.
Rated.
Just rated. Okay.
Properly rated.
Where was he drafted? Do we know that?
I think the Giants, maybe?
Yeah, 4th or 5th round.
Okay.
Are we right on that?
I'm checking right now. I'm seeing
4th
96
round,
Giants.
135th overall.
Good job.
That's properly rated.
I would say that's what he is. Started a little bit here and there. Was never great. You know, I mean, there's some good. That's dirty, though. Markelle Fultz and Ben Simmons, like those guys, the story, you know what he needs to play right now? He needs to play some Natasha Bedingfield unwritten, staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window. Let the sun,
Just
the
let
moon.
that sun illuminate you.
Feel the rain on your skin. I mean, I think Arch will be fine. Is he going to be the guy that we thought he was going to be day one? No. Does that mean that he still can't be a really good quarterback by the end of the season? I'm not convinced he won't be. Now, there is times where things get in your head a little bit, and it appears that there are some things that are in Arch Manning's head. And he doesn't look like a guy who's a natural thrower of the football. There was like the grimace stuff. Is he hurt? Maybe it's just he like doesn't like to throw. His arm angle, like he's working through some things. And that's all part of being a young player. You're not going to be perfect when you're young, when you're a guy that age. And he's got probably playing Ohio State first was the worst thing for him.
I agree, and there's still plenty of time for him to write his story. Yes, he has struggled, no doubt about it.
The rest is still unwritten. That's what I just said.
There's a lot.
You're the author of your life.
There's a Carpenterism. Yes, and so it's early to call him Markelle Fultz or Ben Simmons because those guys flamed out in the pros.
Simmons especially.
Simmons
Fultz bounced back. He's had a decent career.
I think Simmons though has the.
But Simmons is.
He has
made a lot of money though.
NBA record for best field goal percentage in All-Star games. I think he's like 13 of 14 or something like that.
He also has the NBA record of passing the ball as soon as he gets across half court because he just is scared to score.
Right.
Scared to shoot.
But Simmons and Fultz had good college careers that led them to being high draft picks where they then failed. Arch is still, started 5 games. 5 games all he started. It's way too early to make comparisons like that to him.
Yeah. I'm not going to throw that. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. I am paralyzed.
I will probably laugh very hard at a line like that on Tuesday when I'm here. If I follow through and watch Talladega Nights on the flight out there.
Captain's chair and the RV plasma TV screens in the back for the kids.
So Cadell's wrong on this. He's wrong to put this out there this early.
It's premature.
Premature, yes, that's exactly what it is.
Longhorns will take on Sam Houston this Saturday. 8 o'clock kickoff for that one. SEC Network plus ESPN. They'll have a bye before going to Florida and then a neutral site game, of course, down there in the Cotton Bowl against number 11 Oklahoma.
That'll be a big one for him.
Like if you're a Texas fan, you'd like to see Arch play well these next 2 games before heading to
get
that
a little
game
momentum.
Yeah. Next up here, guys, in the NFL, ever since showing up in L.A. in 2017, it did not take Sean McVay very long to quickly establish him as one of the best coaches in the NFL. Now in his 9th season with the Rams, McVay, he only has 1 losing season. He's made the postseason in 6 of his 8 years. He's gone to the Super Bowl twice, and of course winning that game back in 2022. Now he's set to add another accolade to his coaching career, albeit one you probably wouldn't expect. He's going to be coaching through an injury. McVay confirmed on his coach's show earlier this week that he tore his plantar fascia in LA's 33-19 win over the Titans this past weekend. McVay said, "The foot's good. I did tear it, so yeah. That's a good thing, though, I hear, because I guess it allows you to heal a little faster." I was being a little dramatic, limping around towards the end of the game on the sideline, but the MRI did confirm that the foot is now torn, but good to go. Tito, I don't think this injury is going to affect the Rams too much as they're off to another.
Joe Burrow said, "Hold my beer."
Yeah. The Rams are off to another strong start under McVay's guidance.
What he said also was, I'm just on the sidelines watching, so I'll have a little cool limp to add some swag.
So
then
ain't
you'll know why.
Changed, but it's limp?
Yes. McVay's done a hell of a job there. The fact that he's been able to help get Stafford to a Super Bowl and all of that. What's that?
Tim?
What?
McVay?
McVay, yes.
You know who Tim McVay is, Bodie?
I don't think so.
Oh man, he's a rambler.
Tim McVay. Timothy McVay?
Yes, that's him.
Tim's short for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not a good guy.
No.
Not a good guy at all.
So he'll be out there.
Filled up a white van with a fertilizer bomb. Drove it into Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
So not a good guy at all.
Died at the age of 33. Was that?
I think that was by capital punishment.
I don't think it was a choice. I think it was. I think it was. I don't think it was an optional
They didn't
thing.
throw the blow dryer. They didn't throw a blow dryer in a bathtub.
I didn't know McVay went to Miami of Ohio. I didn't realize that.
The Cradle Coaches.
Cradle Coaches, man.
But he played wide receiver there. I didn't realize that. But
what year was he there?
Well, let's see. He's 39 now.
He played there. I think I played against.
You played against McVay?
He was a sophomore. I think we played him my senior year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
If the math holds up.
04 to 07.
Yeah, 05.
Yeah.
Math's mathin'.
Who'd your dad root for that day?
What?
Who'd your dad root for that day?
I don't know. Probably us.
Miami guy.
I actually got the skull session speech. That was the first
Did you
game of
really?
the year. Yeah. And so I think it was first game of the season, and then my dad being an alumnus from there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I spoke in the skull session that year.
What was that like? How long? How long did you get to speak?
I mean, you get it's. Have you ever seen the skull?
I've seen it before, but I don't know what. I mean, I don't remember how long the guys are speaking.
Have you ever seen Varsity Blues, Brody?
Uh-uh.
Oh gosh, never mind. It's probably 30 seconds.
Okay, all right.
You know, I mean, you've worked the crowd, you get them juiced up, get them going.
Were you off the cuff, or did you plan to say
Right
something?
now, you don't write anything out for
Okay,
that.
so I didn't know how else. You take
You
things
think it
awfully
through.
seriously. I
Think it through.
Okay, I didn't know.
I would drop a Varsity Blues speech in there, but since you haven't
Neither
seen
one
it,
of us have
Brody,
seen it.
Go over our heads.
Yeah,
Tonight, we play Bangville. Tonight, we beat Bangville.
That's. I don't know. Okay. You're right. One of our heads. What do
I
you
was
got?
lying in bed
Okay.
and had a dream. We beat Bangville 28-7. And I woke up sad. All the girls go, oh. Because I knew we were going to beat Bangville by way more than that.
Crowd roars.
Crowd roars.
One more here for you guys. For the first time in more than 2 decades, the NBA returns to NBC this upcoming season. And, of course, with a return to NBC comes a debut on the network's Peacock
Is Ahmad
streaming
Rashad
service.
coming back?
He might be. On Monday, October 27th, it'll be the debut of the NBA on Peacock. The Cavaliers, they take on the Pistons in Detroit. And yesterday, the network announced their brand new way that those broadcasts will be handled. The play-by-play announcer, Noah Eagle, will take the mic at a traditional center court location in the broadcast booth, just like it normally be. However, he will have one analyst near the bench for both the Cavaliers and Pistons.
Oh boy.
Sitting next to the assistant coaches, it'll be Austin Rivers with the Cavs and Robbie Hummel, Big Ten legend. On the Pistons sidelines, each analyst will then present analysis, insights, and reports geared towards their respective teams, including relaying what they learned from huddles and timeouts. Carp, do you like this idea, or are they just trying to overdo it a little bit?
I'll tell you
too
what,
hard here.
listening to the ACC replay reviews,
That was good.
that was
Yeah.
sweet. I don't know if I need a guy embedded on the bench.
Yeah.
By the way, the NBA's lost the plot if the coaches agree to that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, sitting there like people embedded in what you're doing, what you're drawing up. I'm sure they're going to only disclose things afterwards, but I mean, I know people want more inside access, and this is definitely that. I don't know if it'll enhance the broad. Is it going to get me to watch Bodie? Probably not.
Yeah, I don't think it won't change my viewing habits for the NBA this year. I wouldn't think. I don't have a reason to watch the NBA with the Celtics. Going to be very mediocre this year with no Jason Tatum. Ahmad Rashad is the all-time record holder for worst groomsman. Is that right?
He has
the groomsman.
OJ.
OJ was one, and Cosby was the other.
That's perfect. Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, there's a picture of him when he's marrying the Mrs. Cosby.
Yeah.
Felicia Ayers Rashad, who's being that they're divorced now, I believe. But yeah, they
really
hard to believe, right? But yeah, there's that famous picture of Ahmad Rashad there being flanked,
not
shanked, being flanked by OJ and Cosby. That's a great picture. Good Lord. I remember
Ahmad Rashad played for the Cowboys.
Nice.
Did he play for the Cowboys?
Erica's team.
I thought he did.
I know he played for the Vikings. I didn't play for the Cowboys.
Positive.
Do you know what his real name is? What was his birth name? It's Bobby Moore.
Bobby Moore. It's super white bread.
Yeah, they changed him Ahmad Rashad. I don't think he ever played for that. Maybe he did, but I thought it was just all Vikings and I'm not sure on that one.
Maybe you might be right.
No Cowboys.
Oh, I thought he did.
St. Louis, Buffalo, Minnesota.
That's right, Buffalo's. I forgot about St. Louis. Yeah, long time in Minnesota. And Robbie Hummel, by the way, you call him Big Ten legend all you want.
My dad told me that. I was like, wow, I had no idea all that stuff.
About Rashad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know he played in the NFL because he did it inside the NBA.
Inside the NBA.
NBA
yeah.
inside stuff. So why would I have thought that he played
the NBA? Right, yeah. So what equivalent would that be? Would that be Shaq doing NFL games? NFL studio guy?
Barkley's
Barkley's
NFL studio guy, which would be amazing.
Why you never buy a woman a watch? Say that again, Chuck.
Chuck is the best. He's one of those guys, too, though. Like back when Chuck first came in to the league, the NBA, I never would have pegged him for being somebody who would be this lovable in the media.
I hope you wouldn't peg him.
Typical quick hitters. Coming up next, Ryan Day, Maddie Patricia and Brian Hartline all spoke yesterday. We'll hear what they had to say next. Morning Juice.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman, and I'm leading a fundraising team at Walking the Dog October 12th in downtown Columbus. We're walking to save lives while a free dog festival fills the park. Join my team, and let's make a difference at gigis.org. That's GIGIS.org.
Hi, this is Martina McBride. With online news, social media, and texting available 24/7, the world seems to be spinning faster and faster every day. And it can be overwhelming. Sometimes we just need to unplug and take a break from our electronic devices. It can help reduce stress and allow us to reflect on the things that are really important in our lives.
This message brought to you courtesy of the United States Air Force.
The next disaster is coming. Make a plan. Keep extra medication on hand. Make copies of important documents. Stay informed and be ready. Learn more at americares.org/send-us-in.
In honor of all those we've lost to cancer and those still fighting and thriving, like basketball analyst and cancer champion Dick Vitale.
I want to beat cancer. I'm going to beat it. That's no doubt in my mind. I'm going to win this battle.
Defeating cancer will take all of us. Join our team to help fund game-changing research that saves lives. At the V Foundation, V is for victory over cancer. V is for victory over the odds. V is for victory over health disparities, victory over setbacks, victory over the unknown. V is for victory over giving up.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Donate to the V Foundation to join our team and help save lives.
Cancer can take away all my physical abilities. It cannot touch my mind, it cannot touch my heart, and it cannot touch my soul.
100% of donations fund game-changing cancer research. Donate now to the V Foundation at v.org.
Since 2003, Wounded Warrior Project has helped post-9/11 veterans adjust back to civilian life. Through specialized programs, they begin healing their bodies and minds while regaining a sense of camaraderie. Learn more at woundedwarriorproject.org/possible.
Lexi spent more than 6 years in foster care.
Before I was adopted, I felt alone.
With help from the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption, Lexi now has a forever family and the foundation for a bright future.
Adoption changed me for the better. I feel like I can be whoever I want to be.
You can help find permanent homes for children still lingering in foster care. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
When it comes to prostate cancer, go to pcf.org for the help you need to navigate this disease and make the right decisions for yourself. Go to pcf.org today.
Proud to be your go-to sports addiction.
WBNS, WBNS FM, HD3 Columbus.
The Fan 3, Ohio sports destination. One man is a national champion, NFL veteran, and local business leader. The other man is Tito. This is Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
Got some big decisions we got to make here, Bob. It's like show-altering decisions we've got to make.
Career-altering decisions.
Like, how much power do we have? What kind of decision-making power do we have at this station, Bob, with this show?
We've lost the fan pool.
We've lost the fan poll already. We didn't lose it. It was stolen from it. We were the victims of thievery.
That's true, yeah.
In that one. We got
Can
burgled.
something be stolen from you if you put it on the curb out front?
That's a good point. We got burgled is what happened there. This is edited to go thing. I don't know. The print is too small. I already can't see anything. But here was Ryan Day yesterday talking about how Ohio State is approaching the first of their 2 bye weeks.
Today we'll practice today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Take Friday and Saturday off, and then come back in Sunday, have our practice, and do a normal game week. That's something that I think is important to make sure we still continually stay on that schedule. We're going to work hard on fundamentals, on the areas that we need to get better at. We know the next 4 games are going to be a challenge. This will be our first conference game here. This will be our first road game, and 3 of the next 4 will be conference road games. So, we have to prepare, to go on the road and play really, really good football.
Bob, is there such thing as a bad time or a better time to have a bye week?
A bye week is when the bye week is. If you are healthy, It's like, whatever. If you're hurt, like, we'd love to have the bye week.
Sure.
Now. Having 2 is a little bit unique. I don't think a lot of coaches love it. If you're Ryan Day, this kind of delineates the non-conference from the conference.
Mm-hmm.
And so you had one big game. And so I guess this year there is some benefit to it because you had one really big game. So you kind of probably tapered down at the end of camp. Then you can kind of ratchet up a little bit. You can have a pretty good bye week, couple days of good intensity, and then you give them the weekend. Come in Sunday, Monday off, get back into your normal week, and you can get ahead for Washington. And then having the one before Penn State probably helps.
Yeah.
As well, because Penn State usually gets one the week off before they play Ohio State, or they had in the past.
I always wonder about the fact that you're on a roll and looking as good as
it comes when it comes. Sometimes you're like, hey, I'd be excited if it was here, but if you're injured, you want it. If you're playing well, maybe you don't, but it's just part of the schedule.
And I think it helps. I like the fact it's right before the Washington game, the first big road test.
Washington. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting to pronounce the R in that, but I think, Bob, that it's beneficial. I hope it is to have the extra week before going on the road for Julian Sand's first big road test in a hostile environment. Yeah, it'll be hostile for sure, and it'll be a big challenge. Listen, Washington's got some dudes, man. They got a good quarterback. They've got some good receivers, skill guys. Like, this will be a good challenge out there in Seattle.
How much does Ohio State have a say? And I know in the non-conference, great. If they want to take a week off on a bye type thing, I know they have a say in that.
I don't think they have a say. Really.
They don't say. It's just that this is what they're being commanded on when your bye weeks are. I can't believe the Big Ten did that. Right? Like in the non-conference.
Still responded to me with Ross stuff on it. Tell him we don't want to play any more noon games. Okay, my bad. Have you heard him say I don't want to buy? We fought to not play noon games, more or less. Not all, but less noon games.
This is good to know, Bob, that you're like the suggestion box, that we can just send stuff to you and you'll pass it on next time you see Ross?
I'm not passing that on. I already have talked to Ross about that. He knows. And by the way, I didn't really talk to him. I just listened to him talk about it. I was like, oh, I don't need to give him my opinions because his opinions are very closely aligned with mine. And a lot of people's in general on that.
I've got some advice I need to pass on to Ryan Day. I got a couple of plays I've worked up at home. We'll talk about that off the air. But here's Ryan Day addressing the red zone offense in the challenges, I guess I should say, against Ohio University.
The first time we went down there, we had a power play that I feel like we got the right look that we were looking for, and we didn't execute that very well. And quite honestly, on the second one, on the third, pass there, it was a kind of a 50-50 ball and man-to-man. I thought the protection was good, but that's playing in the red zone. And then on the last one, they did a good job sort of matching it. If you watch the play, you'll see CJ kind of leak free in the flat, and if we can just keep our feet and keep our eyes up, maybe we see him there. And then as we got into the red zone a couple other times, we had a penalty, but quite honestly, there was one where we didn't motion the guy over. So to me, I thought schematically we were in decent shape. I'm critical of that.
I love that. That's the thing that we are talking about as far as something Ohio State in a 37-9 win. This is what we're gonna nitpick.
Yeah.
Look, it needs to get better. I get that, but still, if you win 37-9 and that's like the stuff you're complaining about and talking about, that's your team's in a pretty good spot.
They are, but that's what Ryan talks about. We're not in a race to win. We're in a race to improve. And so that's the big piece of that. He's like, I don't care what the results are. The results are the results. It's how good are we getting relative to where we were the day before. The only true improvement that off is to improve upon your former self. Seneca.
I would love for him to say, 37-9. That's pretty good, right? 37. I don't know. You tell me. I don't know if 37-9 is a good win. You tell me if 37-9 is a good win. I don't know. I'm not sure. Somebody tell me. I might be wrong. Anyway, Matt Patricia was talking about, and it just seems to me that he really, I think, is enjoying himself here, just from what I see from his facial expressions, body language, and all of that. And our time we spent with him at practice seems like he's really enjoying his time here. Here is Matt Patricia talking about being around this team.
I think I've said this before, but it's such a joy to kind of be around these guys. There is that professionalism that you walk into the meeting room, they're very serious. They take notes. They want to learn what the game plan is. They really want to learn about the the opponent. But then there's just that also joy of like they are young kids. They have that youthful energy about them. They love the game for the game. It's just all of that stuff being around younger players that just come out of them. They have fun. They're out there celebrating the 6-7. I don't even know what that is, but my kids know what it is and they get excited about it. So I love to see that energy and that excitement that they have around each other, and they're young, they're great young men, but in that meeting room and on that practice field they're as serious as they can be, trying to just be the best players they can be. So it's a great combination, honestly, to be around. It's a lot of fun.
Has anything surprised you about the Ohio State defense to this point? A certain player, a certain scheme, a certain strategic element? Has anything surprised you all? Is this pretty much what you thought would happen if you scripted it out back in August?
Yeah, I felt like this is what they would look like. I mean, knowing what Matty P would do, watching what they've done, knowing the faith that I had in Arvell Reese to step up and some of the other young guys to step up. Jalen McClain, when Malik Hartford's got in there, he's played well. Defensive lines looked pretty good. Still need to work on the interior of that and solve some questions. And Matt Patricia can scheme around their strengths and figure out what to lean into. Though I think the one big question mark was going to be Lorenzo Styles at nickel. Mm-hmm. That's a very difficult position. There's a lot that's asked of him. And everybody last year was like, well, whenever he was on the field, they targeted him. I'm like, well, there are other really good players as well. But I think he's done a really good job. I think Lorenzo's played really well in the slot, and that's why you've seen him in there. And that's why this defense has really been humming the way that it has.
As I'm watching this team play, and I've breaking news, a different set of eyes than you do, but I always wonder if they're...
Do you have hungry eyes?
That's Eric Carmen, R.I.P. with the
Queen
also.
One look at you and I can't describe. I've got...
Is the defense more reactionary or more, this is what we're going to do regardless of what you do, you have to deal with it?
No, it's not we're going to well, here's what they do. We're going to come out here, we're going to do these specific things, and in doing that, when you come out to stuff we don't feel comfortable with or we can tweak to get in a better call, there's all these little peripheral tweaks around the edges about how to play the coverage behind it, how to get the rush going, how to fit the gaps in the run scheme, how to get blitz stuff going if you need to. All of those things are all answers there that a lot of them can be dictated by the players based upon their film study and their comfort of what they feel good about on the field.
Is it, as far as strategically, and when you talk about doing that strategically, how is it different than what Jim Knowles did?
How they call it is like night and day. It would be like learning Mandarin versus learning Spanish. I mean, it's not even close to how you call the defense verbiage-wise. You always look, number one, they always had the fixed four-man front. That is something that they haven't really done nearly as much. They do it, but they'll line up in different things, but they'll move guys around. They've done some 5-down stuff. They've done some 3-down stuff. There's a lot of different personnel packages. If you watch guys run on the field,
right,
3 linemen, 3 linebackers, 3 linemen, 2 linebackers, 6 DBs, 5 DBs, 3 defensive tackles, 4 DNs. It's just they change up so much stuff so they can get more guys, get them roles. Their big nickel package. They have little nickel. All these different personnel groups that give them flexibility. And some of the calls might be the same across the packages. So it's just 1 or 2 guys that have to learn different positions.
That's what and with my, I would say naked eye, but then you'd make a comment. My naked eye, when I see it, untrained eye. There, it's better. I know, like
virgin eye.
Well, not virgin eye. This eye sees some stuff. But Bob, the way the NBA has gone almost positionless, I feel a lot of the same way about Ohio State's defense.
Yeah, you'd like to do that if you have the physical ability to with your players.
But you look at it though, and the way that they changed the look up, like pre-snap. You'll see the guys out there. It'll be like, you might see the 4, and you'll see a guy drop back, or you'll see somebody else sneak up.
They walk up to the line of scrimmage. They simulate a lot of pressure. There's times where that's what I'm saying. The coverages they show behind it, and they're all on a string. Everybody does it together.
You mentioned the difference between learning Mandarin and learning Spanish. I assume the Mandarin would be what we have here with Patricia versus maybe Spanish last year?
Yeah, I would say that that's probably accurate.
It just, it seems like there's so much more.
Jim Knowles' defense is really good. Believe me, the numbers would bear that out. But that doesn't mean that like things can't get better. And I think, number one, I think this defense is more talented, and I think Matt Patricia being here allows them to lean into that type of talent of what they have and utilize it in maybe a better way than they would have last year.
So it's been fun to watch. And then here is also, we'll play one more here from Matt Patricia on how the defense is doing so far.
We got some stuff in last week. I would say that I was glad to be able to get in and kind of get out there and practice. But our guys are doing an unbelievable job, I think, with the installations and the learning and the different pieces and putting that all together. I just can't give enough credit to the way that they've gone after this and studied and learned and practiced and improved. What's really been great is, we'll put things in, and sometimes you put things in and you're taking a look at it and you're like, man, I'm not really sure if I like that or not. And then they're kind of like, hey, let's give it one more look. And they've fixed it, or they've made you feel more comfortable about those calls, which I love, like that ownership that they've been able to do with some of the stuff that we've done. So it's been pretty good.
Jim Knowles' defense, when he came out and first said that, the problem is we're going to give it big plays. We can bend but not break. One of the things he said when he first got his defense.
Knowles was like, we're going to give up the big play.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to be ultra aggressive. Like, that was just part of how they operated.
The Death Star, obviously, there was a way to defeat that, as Luke showed us in the Star Wars A New Hope. There was a flaw in the Death Star's plans. If you were scheming against this Ohio State defense, what would you try to expose? How would you try to expose them? Or what could you do to potentially expose them? I'm not trying to give tips out to Washington.
Yeah, I was like, what are we doing here, Thitoff? You want me to do the gameplay in the scouting report? Like,
I just want you to, like, is there the defense he's been running? Because I don't see a weakness in it, Bob. That's why I'm asking you, my naked eye. That,
you have to get 6 inches from the screen to be able to read the
text.
That's
also
though.
Fair. But nonetheless, though, I'm asking, though, do you, is there a flaw somewhere that someone could expose? Is it just like if Ohio State's defense executes? Okay, let's say they execute at 90%. They're going to dominate the game, right?
Yeah, I would say so. Like against most teams, because they have more talent than them in most teams. Now, there are room to make mistakes, and that stuff does happen. That stuff does happen from time to time. But like attacking this defense, they're really good in the back end. They're very versatile up front. The problem is, anytime you attack, you have to have an idea of what they're going to be in. And Matt does such a good job of changing that up, showing one thing, playing another, and changing up what their lead calls are, that it's really difficult to get that. And he changes so much of it from game to game, so you don't really get a beat on it.
Yeah, I wondered, because when I see it, I just feel like it's at a point where Ohio State, if no one slips on the field kind of thing, if that doesn't happen, that they're going to be successful against. I really wish Oregon was on the schedule this year. I'd love to see them do it against Oregon. And they might get a chance to play in the Big Ten championship or the playoff, but I would love to see an offense like that, because I don't see an offense say what you want, Penn State. They're not.
We'll see. Oregon scored a lot, but who have they really played?
They haven't really played anybody. That's true. They haven't really played anybody, but Oregon's got a better. Oregon's staff has a better track record of producing elite offensive players, I should say, than Penn State does.
Yeah.
And so that's why I wish Oregon was coming here this year. Now, next year, granted, it'll still be fun because when they come here next year and, we get to see how they do against Matt Patricia's defense, hopefully at that case. But, I look at this defense, so I wish there was another bigger challenge. I don't know if Washington's going to be that big of a challenge. The biggest challenge for Washington, as far as I'm concerned, and we'll talk more about this obviously next week, though, is going to be the road environment for some of these kids going out there.
It'll be loud. Their stadium's sweet. If anybody hasn't seen it, I would just a little Google search of Husky Stadium, I think it is, or whatever
I think
it is.
It's called Husky Stadium. I think you're right, yeah.
It's like on the lake, the sound in the back. They've got these big awnings that come over top of most of the stadium to help lock the sound in. It's loud. Like it's a pretty cool spot.
You know who the voice of the Huskies is?
I don't know.
Tony Castricone. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
The fan?
I know Tony. Yeah.
Tony C's out there. He does. I think he does basketball, too. I think he's like their Paul Keels.
Good for him.
Yeah. So Castricone, God, if it wasn't so early, I'd get him out on our show. I don't think we want. He's not like Your Highness. I don't think he gets up at 4 in the morning.
Your Highness, he's an interesting bird. He's up at all times. I don't know.
I think
he just waits.
I think he just rests. I think he rests, or maybe passes out at some point for a little while. What we decide about it tomorrow? We're going to have him on tomorrow. Now we're going to do our picks. Is it too much to have him on again tomorrow?
Well, if we can get through the picks and you sit there and obliviate and want to give all your details as to why everything's going on, people really don't care as to why.
They just so you're telling me we just do our straight picks and don't say why we think.
You want to throw like a couple words of color around it, but nobody needs a minute breakdown as to why you picked such and such over whoever.
We probably do need your highness to pick up the pace a little bit too.
Okay,
maybe give us his.
Okay, this will be our mega tease.
Top 3 picks.
We'll get him in here tomorrow, and we'll let him
jump on the right foot and do the wrong thing.
I don't know what his record was, Bodie, but he also got one more wrong at the end because he said Bobby do better than me in the picks. So
you know what they say, Bob? Birds that fly together.
Let's not do that.
They win together.
That's an off-the-air comment. We'll talk about that. Coming up next, Austin Ward joins us. Morning Juice.
He's a former coach with 2 sons who played professional basketball. Satch Sullinger's a competitive individual, but his golf game was suffering because of painful joints.
As we get older, we create these bad habits because we're relegated to hit a certain way.
QC Kinetics used regenerative treatments, all natural healing properties from Satch's own body, to restore those damaged joints and get his golf game back on track.
QC Kinetics regenerative medicine is regenerating me, all natural, and that's what I'm about. I'm going to tell everybody why I'm better.
Oh, and by the way, it looks like the competitive Satch is back, feeling great and giving his golf buddies a hard time.
We're all in the same boat, and I'm getting better, and I'm watching them stay old.
Go to QCkinetics.com/Columbus. Get relief and your game back. Call for your complimentary consultation, 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. Again, 380-208-4544. QC Kinetics.
When it comes to protecting your assets, you need a security partner. Event Risk Security Services is a U.S.-based veteran-owned company providing protection services, consulting to Fortune 500 companies, movie studios, celebrities, and high net worth individuals. If you're tired of fluff margins with low compensation for poor quality services and an endless revolving door of vendor staffing, then give them a try. They're virtually the same cost, and they can address what keeps you up at night. Event Risk. Check them out at eventriskinc.com to learn more. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter, and football season is here at Columbus, and Germain Toyota of Columbus has the winning plays. Drive home a brand new 2025 Tacoma SR5, just $269 a month for 36 months, 10,000 miles a year. Or power up with the Tundra, now just 1.75 APR for 72 months. Don't wait. These deals, they won't last long. Stop by Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or shop anytime at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota of Columbus. See dealer for details.
1 in 4 Americans today are living with a disability. I'm one of them. I care deeply about creating a world we can all fully participate in, free from stigma, misperceptions, and barriers. And we've got a trusted ally on our side, an organization we can rely on, Easter Seals. Rooted in communities nationwide, Easter Seals helps empower millions of people, regardless of age or disability, through its life-changing services and powerful advocacy. Today and every day, Easter Seals is leading the way to full equity, inclusion, and access to healthcare, employment, and education for people with disabilities, families, and communities. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Learn more and get involved at easterseals.com.
Attack and dominate. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
All right. It's Bobby. It's Tito. It's Bodie. It's a legendary redhead, a ginger, joining us right now. It's time for this.
A guy who considers himself the mayor of Laramie, Wyoming, who holds the shuffleboard record at the Ranger, and most impressive, the commissioner of the Central Ohio Two-Man Scramble League. Here's Austin Ward.
Gotta tell you, Austin, I'm surprised you're here. Not because...
Are you?
Yeah, I'll tell you why I'm surprised. I would think that the bye week for the team would be a bye week for you, but I keep hearing you on the radio here, and I just figured you would take the week off. You get 1 or 2, the only time during the season where there's twice this year where there's not an Ohio State game.
Well, the second improvement week, the Ward family will be going to Disney World. So I won't be from Wednesday on of that week in the middle of October jumping on every radio show that they ask me to be on. Although, Tito, Timmy did ask me to fill in on the show across the hall from you guys tomorrow, but I can't do it. This week has been the shoe's on the other foot. Allie is she's at a work convention in San Diego. She left on Monday. So, in the morning time, I've got to be able to get Liberty ready for school, get her on the bus. So I did have to say no to one tomorrow, although Allie will be back late Thursday night, and then someone on this show is leaving for Las Vegas, and then I'm going to sit in one of those seats on Friday and Monday.
It's exciting, Austin.
Just don't be too good.
I can't wait to have you in. I was curious after you told me you weren't going to be in tomorrow. I
started to panic.
Yeah.
No. We're good for Friday, Bob. Don't you worry.
You're our guy. What did we glean from Saturday night and then talking to Ryan here on Tuesday?
Yeah, I think I felt the more time that was removed from like 10:30 on Saturday night till especially now, the better I felt about the performance for Ohio State. And I think the same is true for the coaching staff. Now, they may have immediately felt better about that, Sunday morning, looking at the film and then having a 4-touchdown victory to break down, and then a way to, like, an opening to go coach the Buckeyes really hard on a Bloody Tuesday last night, on a Wednesday practice this afternoon. I think when you look at the issues that they had, which are pretty, I think, largely limited to not converting in the red zone, Bob, you tell me if you disagree with that, but when you take the Ryan Day and Brian Hartline and Billy Fessler approach here of trying to figure that out, and there were a couple throws that Julian Sand could have made that didn't, one to C.J. Donaldson, one to Brandon Ennis there in the first half that could have changed the score dramatically and maybe the conversation about that game. And I'm not saying that everyone was disappointed or frustrated by it, but there were certainly enough people that were, confused about what was going on and why it wasn't a larger blowout given the yardage. If you're looking at coaching scheme and personnel for those plays and trying to find out if this would be a recurring issue, Ohio State has coached high-level quarterback play for a long time. I think they feel pretty confident about that. The scheme got players open, C.J. Donaldson and Brandon Ennis specifically on those players. I think they felt pretty good about the scheme. And there's no question at all about the personnel. Ohio State feels great about the guy they have at quarterback. So coaching scheme, personnel, all those things are checked out. Feels like that's probably an aberration and a one-off where they didn't just execute it perfectly for the first time that they got into those situations really against Ohio. I bet that they get cleaned up, and that's why I don't feel like there's anything coming out of the end of the non-conference slate, Bob, that is going to really trouble Ohio State moving forward. But they do have to make sure that that's corrected the next time they get in those spots.
Yeah, I get you 100% on that. You talked about personnel, Austin, and personnel-wise, the guy we saw get a little more action has had 2 really good games now, albeit Grambling in Ohio. But Ryan talked about putting more things on his plate, being able to trust him, and that's Bo Jackson. Are you anticipating him, should this trend continue, if the trend is his friend, becoming the feature back or the lead back in this offense?
I certainly think it's on the table, Bob. Now, last week when we talked about what that was going to look like for Bo Jackson coming out of the Grambling game, everyone and all of those coaches kept saying, what you see in the games is what we see in practice. And he was talking specifically about ball security and a fumble on the last carry against Grambling. And as we sat here at this time a week ago, I said, I don't know what that will mean for Bo Jackson's workload against Ohio, because he's going to have to prove that in practice, that he's going to take care of the football, that the program is safe in his hands. Now, he did that against Ohio, and he got carries earlier in the game. And then he had the first carry of the third quarter, 64-yard explosiveness, physicality, acceleration, everything you want was on full display. And that's when the idea starts to expand in your brain. Like, maybe this guy is the one who can be the difference maker for Ohio State. And then Ryan Day reiterated on Tuesday the exact same thing. He's been more transparent about what the decision-making process is with Bo Jackson than really any running back that I can recall. I think when we had similar, I think Tito brought up Dallin Hayden last week, and when that situation was arising and you could see that it looked like he could help when the football was in his hands, and they would say, it could be some things, could be the other things, and they sort of danced around that they didn't fully trust Dallin Hayden with pass protection and that there might be some fumble issues in practice. But they're really spelling that out pretty clearly with and I think that the reason that Ryan Day is doing that is because he has to, because on Saturdays we can all see what Bo Jackson is capable of. And there's going to continue to be that push to say, if you're not going to get the 20, 30, 40-yard explosives from James Peoples and C.J. Donaldson on a regular basis, and you're watching Bo Jackson do it, then that question is only going to continue to bubble up. So I think if he handles that on the practice field, Bob, and he makes the most of the opportunities like he did against Ohio, that has to be well within his grasp by the time you get to October.
He is Austin Ward. The Beat with Austin and Berm is now available on the 10 TV Plus app. It's their daily podcast. And download the 10 TV Plus app on Apple TV. You can also find it there. Amazon Fire, Roku. Stay locked in with the latest Buckeye talk wherever you go. And Austin, when I know I am a bit of hyperbole here, but I have not seen a running back excite me like this as a freshman since Claret in 2002. Is that something you also see, even though you were probably 9 years old at the time, but is that something you also would say is a good comp?
Wow, that's a big one, and we've only seen it now through 20-ish carries,
right?
And didn't contribute against Texas. I feel like there are elements of his game that you can take from that. The toughness,
Mm-hmm.
The willingness and ability, I guess, to seek contact and run through it. I think you can draw from that, and I think that there are parts of Bo's game that you could compare to several different players. When you talk about freshmen exploding, J.K. Dobbins and what he did at Indiana on the road in a Big Ten game, that's the one that stands out to me is like the immediate impact, and like this guy is actually ready to go out there and do something on a consistent basis. And during that stretch, you had Mike Weber also when he was healthy in a 1-2 punch. I think that there's parts of Mike Weber's game that you can see in Bo Jackson, the best of Mike Weber. I think there's parts of Maurice Claret that you mentioned. I think there, J.K. Dobbins, who, had that one thing that we were waiting for him throughout his career is you could see some of the explosiveness, and then it was, if we're talking about the 64-yard carry, is Bo later down in the end of this year or by the time he's a sophomore or junior, is he going to turn that into 75, 80 yards and finish that run in the end zone? And I think it's not the finished product yet for Bo Jackson, which I think has got to be the exciting part. And it's also the part where Carlos Lachlan is continuing to really coach that hard, not just with the ball security, but getting to understand everything that's required of the position and finding that next gear. I think, if we're talking about Bo having some skill sets that are similar to Maurice Claret or similar to Mike Weber or J.K. Dobbins or Zeke, I think that probably that's a reminder that Bo is his own player, and we need to just maybe enjoy the ride and not seek out the comparison. And I'm not telling you that you don't have to do that or you shouldn't do that, Tito, but I think we're going to see something that could be pretty unique with Bo Jackson, and the ride should be pretty entertaining.
Well, to quote Vince Vaughn, I know my truth, but I was going to say, do you think that he will get, Bo Jackson has the most touches from this point on among all the running backs for the rest of the season?
I don't know if I'm there yet. I mean, I don't want to. I want to take Ryan Day at his word. I think he is not saying this stuff for no reason, and whether that's a challenge to Bo Jackson, whether that's a public reminder that if he's not out there, there might be reasons for that. I don't think that they're fully at the point where Ohio State is saying, yeah, what we saw against Ohio means that when you're going to go to Washington, you're going to rely first and foremost on Bo Jackson. And probably there's not going to be a scenario where there's just one true running back, one bell cow for the Buckeyes, because C.J. Donaldson is also doing some things I think that are really encouraging. And if he had scored again on that throw that I mentioned to Julian Sand, maybe that would have alleviated some of this Bo Jackson conversation we're having. And James Peoples, as that game went on Saturday night, also hit a couple runs that I think are encouraging. But whether that's Bo Jackson and C.J. Donaldson, whether that's Bo Jackson and James Peoples, whether that continues to be C.J. Donaldson and James Peoples, I know for sure that Ohio State is going to want to split that workload between at least two of those guys. I think it might get pretty difficult if they try to slice that pie into thirds. So that's the part where I think there's a much better chance right now than I would have imagined a week ago or 2 weeks ago where Bo Jackson is in that top two. But we'll see what these 2 weeks of practice give him as they get ready for Big Ten play and a really tough grind there.
Listen, this team has played really well. A lot of guys have stepped up, a lot of departures. Is there someone through those first 3 games, the non-conference, as you look at it, that has stepped up that you thought was either A, going to be critical, B, kind of a surprise? Because there was, not surprised they're doing well, there was just uncertainty around them, either offense or defense, or heck, maybe one of both.
Yeah.
Do you think has contributed to this 3-0 start?
I think, Bob, we certainly knew, anticipated, expected Caden Curry to be a starter and a really key contributor for the reload of the Rushmen. I think he's been even better than I thought he could be. And that's tough because I talk to you and Zach Boren and Jeremy Birmingham all the time, and you've all been talking about Caden Curry and the motor and the potential for years and saying maybe there could be a bigger role even when Jack and JT were around. So, and I'm aware of that. I saw him every time he would get in games. He would make a play and he would do something that caught your attention and be like, maybe that would look a lot more useful with 20 to 25 snaps. Like, I think he could handle that. And guess what? He can do that. And the play on Saturday night and putting that hand in hand with some of the other Matt Patricia stuff with scheme and creativity and versatility. The thing I did not consider, and I don't know if you ever mentioned to me, was, hey, what if you put Caden Curry on the center and let him split a double team against a guard and just split into the backfield and make a sack? Didn't know that was really in the repertoire, but that looked pretty good too. So, Matt Patricia, Larry Johnson coming up with some ideas to use him, and I'm not sure that there's anything you could ask Caden Curry to do that he wouldn't. So I think he's made the most of these first 3 weeks, probably as much, probably not more than anybody else on the defensive line because Caden McDonald has been awesome. But those two guys have taken their opportunities and really run with it. And offensively, not a ton of surprises there outside of Bo Jackson and maybe the tight ends that we've talked about, the volume of work that 2, 3, 4, 5 of those guys are all getting. But maybe in that conversation we've overlooked how good Austin Sareveld has been at left tackle.
Well, you got player of the game, so I don't know if they overlooked him.
They're not. Yeah, they're not. But maybe I am, which I'm trying to make sure that that's not the case by pointing it out right here. But as this offensive line has protected Julian Sayin and kept him out of harm's way virtually without fail for the first 3 weeks, there was one breakdown on Saturday that led to a turnover, and I do wonder if right guard could be a spot where there's a conversation next week as well. But all of that being said, Austin Sareveld becoming like a rock-solid left tackle would have been hard for anyone to really imagine going back to his recruitment, even going back to training camp a year ago, where they just had to toss him out at that position because they were shorthanded with the illness running through the team and Donovan Jackson being banged up. And they're like, Austin, can you go play left tackle today? And he's like, sure. And then they left that and they're like, hey, maybe he could play left tackle. And then didn't really ever transpire throughout that playoff push. But here he is, 1 year later, 3 years later, as a starter who is playing at a very high level. As you mentioned, getting player of the game honors, just doing everything, being a captain, Iron Buckeye, all those things. He deserves to have his name called. The fact that you're an offensive lineman means that it's not going to come up that often unless you make a mistake on Saturdays. But at least on a Wednesday morning, on Morning Juice, we can talk about it.
He is Austin Ward. He is the co-host of the Daily Podcast, The Beat with Austin and Berm on 10 TV Plus app. And basically, go anywhere you want and do a Google search on it. And any of those sites we got out there, you'll be able to find that. Have you, just to get you out here on this one, Austin, have you properly prepared for the amount of money you're going to spend at Disney?
We've got a good handle on it, Tito. Yeah, Allie and I are what are known as Disney adults, and Liberty has been infected with that. So this will be our 4th trip since she got old enough to go down to Orlando, and we sprinkled in February Disneyland for the first time. So we've got it pretty well down what we can expect to spend, and I got a nice little travel hack, where there are three Disney properties that are also Marriott members, so we can slice off a nice chunk right there by using the travel rewards points. Yeah, I am prepared, and also, Tito.
Yes.
Another secret.
Okay.
That's why I take all these radio shifts, is so that I can afford to pay for those trips on the off week.
Well,
we've changed things around, by the way. You know, like when Diana Ross got so big it became Diana Ross's Supremes, or Gloria Stefan and the Miami Sound Machine, it is now Austin Ward and the Fan. That's what we do now. That's how we brand it now. I don't know if you know that or not.
Hey,
that doesn't sound like a good idea. I think we're going to get people turning off their radios pretty quick.
Let me ask you this, Austin. You're going out to the Pacific Northwest. When was the last time you were out there? And are you going to give everybody like a little preview of what it's going to be like, the exposure level, like what the intensity will be, and then maybe the weather, topography, all the things.
Yeah, I'll leave the weather to Brim Cantori over there. I'll let him dive into all that. I mean, it's going to be pretty familiar because Ohio State made that trip out to the Pacific Northwest to play Oregon a year ago, and these are going to become more common moving forward. It's nice and cool. Pack a sweatshirt. Even with that 12:30 start time out there on the lake, I think it could be a little more fall-like weather for football next week in Seattle. Lots of great road beers that are looking forward to out there. Seattle and Portland love to go head-to-head about who's the real king of those West Coast IPAs and quality of the craft beer scene out there. That's going to be enjoyable. I do think, Bob, that now this hasn't been confirmed, so I'm not 100% certain if this. I'm reasonably certain that it's locked in because I don't know why you would change the plans late. But Ohio State itself, I think, is learning from what happened a year ago. In adjusting and adapting to these West Coast road trips, because they tried to downplay the body clocks and all that stuff last year, and Ryan Day said at that time, well, it's just 2 hours longer than Nebraska. Yeah. Well, it's a grind to go across country. It is difficult, and it does affect your body. And maybe there's a benefit to starting at 12:30 local time for Ohio State, because to Buckeye Standard Time, that's going to feel pretty normal for them. Overall, they're used to playing.
It's their game window, Austin.
Yeah, that's it for them. But I think there's a better than average chance that they're going to fly out on Thursday instead of Friday.
I would say that's accurate.
So that's not something. Yeah, I don't think that's something that the Buckeyes tend to do, want to do. They don't like to disrupt their schedule. But you factor that in that they went to Oregon last year. They saw what that was like. Also, this is coming off of an off week, a little bit different setup there. They won't have played before. So it's not disrupting the game week rhythm necessarily from this week to next week. So I think they're going to take advantage of that, and we'll see if it works. I don't think that the team that they're playing is as talented as Oregon was last year, but there are going to be tests on this trip. That's first road game for Julian Sayin. Damon Williams can move around at quarterback for Washington. It's going to be loud. Husky Stadium is one of the louder. It's got one of the reputations for being one of the loudest stadiums in the country. So all those things will be a test, and I know that Ohio State is preparing for that last part already. Brian Hartline referenced going out to the practice field on Tuesday. Like, they're expecting that they're not going to be able to communicate like they have been at home. So working on silent counts and all that stuff is part of the repertoire right now.
Awesome. We appreciate the time. Thanks for filling in for me on Friday and Monday coming up. And just do a mediocre job. Don't do a great job. You know what I mean?
That's fair. Whatever you need from me, whatever Bob needs from me.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just there to meet the standard, though. You say mediocre. If that's what you think the standard is, then I'll meet it.
No.
Just don't exceed. Greatness. Don't exceed the standard. That's all I'm saying, okay? All right. Thanks.
Don't exceed the standard.
All right. We'll talk soon. Thanks, buddy.
All right. Have a good trip. See you guys.
Do you need a local bank that truly values local business in this town and the opportunity to work alongside them as partners? Whether you're a small business or a large operation, Riverside Bank of Dublin has the right tools for you. Riverside Bank of Dublin has the experience of working right here locally in Central Ohio. They understand the business climate in our area and will help you reach your goals. Visit them at riverside.bank or stop in and get to know them in person at 6300 France Road. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We are Morning Juice, sponsored by Riverside Bank in Dublin. Event Risk Elite Protection. Coming up next, we'll wrap things up. Tell you who's got us juiced. Morning Juice.
Dangers rarely lie out in the open, so no matter where you live, it's important to know harmful pests can hide in and around your home.
Here I come!
Rodents and cockroaches are drawn to food waste and garbage.
I know you're out here.
Ticks lurk in tall grasses, and mosquitoes lay eggs in standing water.
I can hear you.
Rodents, ticks, and mosquitoes can all spread dangerous diseases.
I gotcha.
Seek the facts you need at pestworld.org. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
Respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, is a common seasonal virus, but it can have major implications on a patient's heart health. Most RSV cases involve mild cold-like symptoms, but up to 160,000 adults are hospitalized each year for more serious cases. And RSV can escalate chronic health issues. If you're over the age of 60, talk to your doctor to find out if the new RSV vaccine is right for you. And learn more at heart.org/RSV.
My son Ian was diagnosed with a brain tumor at the age of 16 months. The outlook was pretty rough. I mean, it was, we had no hope until St. Jude rescued us. I mean, they saved him. To this date, we are 12 years into this journey, and from day one, we've never once seen a bill. It gave us the peace of mind to know that we're there with our son, and we're gonna beat cancer together. Now, he is doing really, really well. He's alive because of what St. Jude has done. He's here because of the doctors who came before, their blood, their sweat, their tears, the knowledge accumulated and shared, with everyone else around the world. This is how we get rid of this, how we help kids beat cancer all over. It's the future.
Together, we will make cures possible for every child everywhere. Learn more at stjude.org.
There's danger out there. It lurks on highways and quiet neighborhood streets. It's more likely to kill you than a shark, and more terrifying than the biggest snake. Distracted driving claims lives every day. Every notification, swipe, social post, video, or selfie while driving risks your life. So while you might think public speaking or the zombie apocalypse is scary, what's really terrifying and even deadly is distracted driving. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Okay, let's go. Top row.
EYECARE?
Good. Next row.
AM America? iCareAmerica.org?
Yes. Eye Care America helps seniors who haven't had a medical eye exam in 3 or more years. They also help those with an increased risk for glaucoma, and the appointment is often free or at no out-of-pocket cost. It's easy to see if you qualify. Go to EYECareAmerica.org.
Bobby knows what it's like to be a winner. Tito knows what it's like to be thrown out of an all-you-can-eat buffet.
You're here for an hour.
This is Morning Juice.
It is Morning Juice. We have surpassed Coaster Bob time. And now we're going to wrap up our Wednesday show with this.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
All right, Bob. Sources tell me it's a Wednesday. I believe that means we start with the general on telling the masses, or the mass, depending on how many people out there listening, what has him juiced.
What's got me juiced today? Well, I watched a Netflix documentary last night called Unknown about some sort of high school catfish snail up in upstate Michigan. If you haven't seen it yet or you don't know the twist, I will not reveal it because it was pretty amazing. So I always say Tuesday and Wednesday are my weekend nights. We had our apprenticeship banquet down for Carpenter and Freeland yesterday, our plumber and HVAC program, and it's a 4-year program you go through, so it was awesome to see people just making those steps and sticking with it as they go from 1 year to the next. So I got a chance to speak a little bit down there, shed a little positivity through that. So that was fun. It's Wednesday, and it's a bye week, so I'm excited to get a chance. I like the bye weeks because that means I can just sit down and watch football. And I don't have to worry about Ohio State. I don't have to worry about going to any game or what time their game is on or having that primarily viewed. I could just watch the general college football slate.
And no pregame show for you? Sorry.
No, you're okay.
Why would I not have a pregame show?
Are you doing a pregame show on a bye week for Ohio State?
I never do a pregame show for Ohio State.
What do you do? What show you do with Roth? Did you do it with Oh, you didn't do it. You don't do the thing with Rothman one Saturday. I thought you did. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I forgot. That's Biddle and Tim May now. I thought you used to do that. But you used to do that.
I did 7 years ago.
Has it been that long?
6 or 7. It's been a minute. It's been at least since.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah, exactly. I do a pregame show on XM for national stuff.
Gotcha.
So
okay, she'll do that.
That will still be going on.
Yes, I got you.
Yes.
Pretty
it's
good
okay.
slate this Saturday, too.
It is. It's a very good slate. Last week had a very good slate.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. We're on the conference play now, so we're on to Cincinnati. You got good stuff going on. Week 2 is the downer, and it still had some pretty good games in it. So last week had awesome games. This week's going to have some awesome games. I'm excited for that as we keep plowing forward through our sports stuff. We had our basketball tryouts the second night of that on Monday night, which I had mentioned, which is crazy. It's our 4th week of flag foot or tackle football now coming up for the 6th graders. And so after this, we will only have 4 games remaining. And so it's the stuff always goes so quick. And as soon as you get into football season, the year starts rolling along. We will be to the end of October here before you know it. And I think
End of September.
End of September. And the end of October.
That too.
Wake me up when September ends, and then we'll be in October. But what is today? Wednesday?
Wednesday the
Maybe
17th.
Monday, I think.
Is when it goes
We will have 99 days remaining in this year, and what else has got me juiced? Did a little Christmas shopping yesterday. Oh, I do it early. I find the sales coach. It's all online for me.
Okay.
Ship it to the house.
Yeah.
Hide it in the office. Let stuff sit there. And while all the other fools are out there panicking, come December 1st, December 15th, December 20th, have we got it? I can just sit there and be like, you know what? Is there anything I'd like to add in here? Plus, I feel better about it because everyone's like, oh, we spent all this money. I'm like, dude, I don't even, those things were paid for a long time ago.
Yeah.
Like
I've forgotten about that.
It's all in the bag and all ready to rock. So got that done as well yesterday, and that made me feel pretty darn good about everything. And I have to listen to Steve Kerr here in the chat talking about how Notre Dame travels nationally all the time. Like that is too. It's also a choice.
It's the price of independence.
It's the price of independence. The price of freedom, Bodie.
It is.
You've got to travel.
It is. I cannot stand how often I've heard Notre Dame fans already be like, we shouldn't have had to play Miami and A&M first 2 weeks. It's like, well, then join a conference.
I mean, that is true. Like
seriously,
and that's a rational take.
You had a bye in between. Second off, you're allowed to win the game. You lost by 3 and you lost by 1. You're allowed to win. And lastly, guess what? If we were in a conference, we still probably would have played somebody good in the first 3 weeks.
You played one of those games.
Probably played 2 cupcakes, and we'd probably be 2-1. But you're not 2-1 because you didn't coach well and you didn't play well enough.
Honestly, I might bring you. I'm going to talk to Marcus. We're going to bring you in there. Talk to him. I don't want to hear about all
one game,
this.
one life. Got to go beat Purdue Saturday.
You know that Bodie thinks you're serious right now, don't you?
I am about half serious. That's some of the most rational ideas I've ever heard from a fan of like a particular fan base. Like, oh, we got to do this. Well, we don't have to.
Right.
We could join a conference, and then we wouldn't have the freedom. So this is the price you pay for freedom. Just like in the United States, we have a lot of unbelievable freedoms that aren't granted other places. We're an incredibly diverse nation, which is also true. And like, there's a lot of good that comes with that. With those things, there's also some problems that you can potentially have. And there's issues that you have here that you may not have other places. Crime isn't an issue in other countries because they just kill you. And you don't even have, you don't even get a trial. So you know what? Like, guilty or not, hey, wrongful convictions, there are none. They don't have an appeals process. They don't get to look at evidence later. There are other things like that. Oh, yeah, by the way, he won on appeal, but we already executed him, so whatever.
Son, we live in a world that has walls.
100%. Nobody likes to hear it, but that's the truth. With freedoms come consequences. That's how life works.
I can't Christmas shop yet because there are still some decisions to be made on behaviors of people before I can give them a gift. Like there's a chance that it could change drastically.
Also, Heather step her game up.
That's exactly. That's right. If she does something great for you today, and I go out and buy something by December, I may be like,
Maybe something great for you tonight.
Anyway, The other thing too, Bob,
That's
I've
the
noticed
gift that
about
keeps
you.
on giving the whole year, Clark.
Or it doesn't. But Bob, whenever you say the word, I know stuff from working with you a little bit. Whenever you say the word issues, you say it like Trump. Every time you say the word issues,
I've been saying this issues. What do you mean?
whenever you say the word issues, when you're going off, you still have the issues. When you said issues, you do a quick pause and you sound like Trump when you say it. They go back to regular Carpenter.
That's not even an impersonation. That's like sometimes I throw in the personation.
I know you sometimes do.
Done it
You do
better.
it inadvertently.
Probably since Lincoln.
I'm not trying to make you aware of that or paranoid about it. Saying every time you say
paranoid.
issues,
Maybe he stole it off of me.
it could be. Maybe someone says, Trump. Every time you say issues, you sound like Carp. That's very possible. That's a good call. All right.
I may have to tell us the story sometime. I heard it from my dad about my dad's. I didn't even realize this. This will be a long tease that may or may not ever be paid off. So you may just be left there high and dry. But my dad, I didn't realize when he was playing for the Giants, they had the lockout, and that's when they were having the USFL and everything. And the New Jersey Generals were big. It was later in my dad's career, like year 8 or 9, and he actually sat down and had a negotiation with Trump. I had no idea about that. No clue. He told me that. Told my brother that, and then I asked him about it, and then he told me that. So, it was very, very interesting of how that went back and forth, and just what my dad's priorities and principles are relative to maybe what most people's would have been, or probably a lot different. It obviously didn't go there, so... Or I might reveal that at a later date. We'll see how that goes.
Listen, that might
Bodie,
be
what Slay's got to say?
So for probably the last 3 to 4 minutes, the
Dad is
R.I.P. Dad, welcome in Zeta, has been shut down.
Catherine Zeta-Jones?
It just says, updates are underway. Please keep your computer on. So I have no other way to play Schlegs because if I tried to play it off the PC, it would ruin my recording for the replay.
Nothing tastes better than this delicious monster.
Something about a Carhartt.
That
Lifting
car doing
heavy.
Carhartt things. It's getting bumpy.
I also don't
Buckeyes.
know. Be cancer. I also don't think we can send it to the end of the show. So I don't know
That's
if
good.
I need to walk out of here and go get Matt. People have been asking for 3 hours. You might get 2+.
Well, one of the
today.
best is if you stay on the chat, if stay on the YouTube machine, if Bodie doesn't turn it off, sometimes you watch me and him having a conversation later,
just
and in the
hang
chat,
around.
I looked over and there was still stuff popping in. It's like, what's so funny? I'd like to hear turn the audio on. I'm like, well, there's some things that are just for
Love
Bodie
to
and I
be
to
part of
share.
an inside joke one day.
Yeah.
So that has me juiced, I guess. What also has me juiced, I was looking through your guys' picks, NFL picks, because we'll get into week 3 tomorrow. Last week, Tito, you went 9-7, Carp 7-9. The afternoon games killed you guys. 3 afternoon games last week. You both went 0 for 3 on them.
Ugh.
Carolina covered against Arizona. Denver lost on the road to the Colts.
I know.
Colts won outright on that one.
I know.
And then Kansas City lost at home as a 1.5 point. Or wait a second here. Yeah, they lost by 3 in Philadelphia. Covered
Freaking
there.
Travis
You guys had the
Kelce.
Chiefs.
Catch the ball.
Yeah.
Your Highness went 8-8, so he split you guys right down the middle. Does he remember those picks?
The lucky Pierre.
50-50. But you know what they say about birds that fly together.
They do say that.
So I'm going to step out and go grab Matt.
Okay.
And Tito, you tell us what has you juiced.
Okay, I will tell you. Bob, I had the great idea last week about the Ask AJ thing we're going to do. Not this week. We'll do it next week, though.
Why not this week?
Because I'm not here, and it's my baby. And we got to get imaging done for it, too. We need some kind of catchy little thing to bring it in, to Ask AJ. If you, no, listen, look, it's your show Friday. If you, it's your show every day, but if you and Austin want to do it, you can do it. Ask the chatters for a couple suggestions, and you can ask AJ a question. We'll get the imaging done after that.
Ask Age.
Here's my other thought. Tell me if you think this is a good idea.
Is it your idea?
It's my idea. Just like Ask AJ was my idea.
Ask AJ was good. Hey, listen, I can give credit. That was a good idea.
We get a lot of participants in the chat.
True.
Right? We're usually well over 200 that are in the chat watching us on YouTube. Do you think the chatters would like to be included on the distribution of the daily prep sheet that I put out? Like, do you think they want a sneak peek? Do you think I wouldn't give them a chance to edit it? I'm just like, if I showed them this is what we're going to talk about today, do you think the chatters would like to be included on the distribution
They do those
list?
rundowns now, or like on the TV shows.
Right, I'm
We
saying,
can
do you
see
think
what's coming up next?
Yes. Do you think that the chatters, do you think that are juicers that are out there?
Sure.
I wonder if they would like to be included in that distribution list.
I think so.
Because right now you get it, Bodie gets it, and the Fish or Tim or Austin when he's filling in and things like that, they'll do all that. But I wonder, though, Bodie, your thoughts on that? Never mind, you're walking away.
Listen, there's a lot of conversations going outside.
There's a lot going on.
I don't know if they realize when the door's open, that door is like a soundproof door.
It's not all the way soundproof.
Pretty close.
It's
So
soundproofish.
that on-air light isn't just there for fun.
Right.
Well, sometimes it is. You used to have to press a couple buttons to get it to shut off.
But yeah.
What's amazing is you can hear laughs through the door sometimes.
You can hear certain laughs through the door. All right. Anyway, thank you all tuning in today for Morning Juice. And thank you, Bodie. Thank you, Bobby. Austin Ward. Tomorrow, we'll do NFL picks. We'll do all of that. And we'll get you through a Thursday. That'll be tomorrow. Thanks, folks. Morning Juice.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here for the Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. An NBA Titan changes hands for a jaw-dropping $6.1 billion. The Boston Celtics, long a symbol of hardwood glory, have been sold to a group led by investor Bill Chisholm. The Celtics owners paid $360 million for the team in 2002 and are now getting a 17x return. A record-setting sale that proves the value of sports continues to skyrocket. Here's Chuck Moore, the CEO, and Travis Sanders, president of Riverside Bank of Dublin, on how they help local businesses with a return on their investment.
Thanks, Bobby. We truly value our partners in this community and work with them side by side to help maximize their return on investment. We live and work in Central Ohio. We want to see it flourish, just like all of you.
Exactly, Chuck. Our partners come to us and stay with us because of our dedication to helping them grow and the amazing products we offer. Our experienced bankers and our local processing and underwriting will help you get things done faster, allowing you to seize opportunities as they come up.
Tune in every day for the Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. Visit their office at 6300 France Road in Dublin or online at riverside.bank.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. My good friends over at Sleep Better Columbus want you to know that if you're 65 or older, enjoying those golden years, but maybe you're dealing with restless nights, you need to listen up. Are you tossing and turning, struggling with sleep apnea, and that leaves you wiped out during the day? Well, it's time to reclaim your rest with Dr. Mark Levy at Sleep Better Columbus. As a leading provider in non-surgical sleep apnea treatments, Dr. Levy helps you breathe easier and sleep deeper with custom oral appliances, a comfortable alternative to CPAP. The best part is that Sleep Better Columbus is in network with most medical insurance plans and is a proud Medicare provider, so your coverage can work seamlessly with Sleep Better Columbus. And as we head toward the end of the year, don't let those benefits go unused. You don't want to wait to use your deductible. Act now to make the most of it with Sleep Better Columbus. Call Sleep Better Columbus today at 800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Once again, that number, 800-MORE-SLEEP or sleepbettercolumbus.com for your consultation. Sleep better, live better, you've earned it.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other, leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, Teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
Day one, the hardest day. The day you hear,
"This is a type of blood cancer."
At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day one. To learn more and get help on any day, visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572.
Yo, I'm your old basketball. Haven't seen you out on the courts in a while. Why not pass me over to Goodwill? Donating me helps Goodwill's mission to provide career training and support services right here in the community. And that's a slam dunk. Donate today. Hey, I got next.
To find your nearest Goodwill locations and to learn more about our mission, please visit goodwill.org. Goodwill, where your things start new lives.
Proud to be your go-to sports addiction.
WBNS, WBNS-FM, HD3 Columbus.
The Fan 3, Ohio sports destination.
Grab your coffee and wake up with the daily